Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Welcome to episode 6 of World Builder Wednesdays, where every week I spotlight a new original creation on the LEGO World Builder platform, powered by Tongle. This week there are a bunch of awesome trending original worlds, especially a lot of fantasy stuff, including LEGO Ilios, which we took a look at last week. But this week, I actually want to shift focus to something that's based on an existing property. This world is called Dangervest. The Rexcitement continues. It was created by the user Chill Builds, and as you can tell by the name, this is kind of a spin-off sequel to the LEGO Movie 2, following the character Rex Dangervest on a solo adventure. This world is based around the idea that Rex wasn't erased from the timeline, and so he has a bunch of different adventures, and he just meets like everyone else in the galaxy that we didn't really get to see in the LEGO Movie 2. I think that is a great idea at its core. Rex was a really interesting character that a lot of people love, but I also think that this would work as like a prequel to the LEGO Movie 2, or like the Unikitty Cartoon Network TV series, which is a spin-off set in like a different universe where the LEGO Movie characters don't interact. I really love the aesthetic of this world, and the architect has done a lot of great work fleshing it out with a ton of different elements. You can see that there are half as many proposed elements as there are fully incorporated elements, and there's a bunch of collaboration happening here, which honestly took me by surprise. There's great discussions going on in the comments. You can see there's like 41 of them, and a lot of people have like several ideas for this world, and I was just surprised because I didn't realize that so many people liked Rex as a character this much. So as usual, we'll start out by looking at some characters. You can see that we've got 24 characters in the world currently, as well as 17 proposed ones. We obviously have a Rex Dangervest because he's the main character, but I feel like we all know who he is, so I kind of want to focus on some of the new ones. Something that's really interesting about this world is that it does bring in other LEGO properties. So you have this kind of spy organization called Hush, and the minifigures all look like they come straight out of an updated version of the original LEGO Agents theme, and I think that that's a really cool thing. What I think is even cooler is having characters like JC Thunder, don't really know how to say her name, but she's a descendant of Johnny Thunder, who's a really popular LEGO character from the original Adventurers theme, and he was actually in the first LEGO movie. So I think that that's a really cool inclusion, but I also really like the space characters. So you have like this whole space society, and this is their queen, Queen Corvana. I created my own world with like a space society, so I really like seeing that kind of stuff in other worlds as well. Moving on to the other characters, because there are quite a few of them, you can see more of the spies. Someone else I really like is the Time Tourist. He kind of reminds me of Vitruvius because he's this like enigmatic character that comes in to help Rex sometimes, and I really love this art that the architect created for them. And then the other character that I wanted to take a look at is Dex Sweater Vest, who I think is just a really funny, like not contemporary, but he's just a really funny person to put next to Rex. And the name is a little bit confusing. Oh, I mean, it's meant to be pretty close to Rex's, but he's basically Rex's biggest fan, but Rex just doesn't like have time for him and doesn't want him to be his sidekick. So he kind of reminds me of Syndrome from Incredibles in that way, but I think it's hilarious that he has like chameleons instead of velociraptors, and I would really love to see, like a story like this involving the two of them. As I said, there's a lot of collaboration on this world, and I really like that, and you can definitely see it. A lot of these characters have been created by other users, including these like clone scientists. However, the one thing that I will say is that I feel like some of this stuff feels out of place. I think the alien stuff makes a lot of sense, but then having these contributions with like the cyborgs, I feel like it doesn't really match the tone that the rest of the world is setting. And the same goes for these characters that are like about a clone storyline. It just seems like a lot of disconnected things that haven't really been bridged together yet. And so that's something that I would like to see. And that's a feeling that I do have with the proposed characters as well, because I don't really see how these characters would fit in to Dangervest as the world exists right now. So I'd really like to see more of that connective tissue come into play here. We do have a few societies in here. There is Hush, the spy organization, as I talked about. You've also got the Raptors, and then something called the Code, which is tied into the cyborg storyline. And I do appreciate, again, the connective tissue there. One thing that this world is sorely lacking is history, and I think like a background for the alien empire. I think that those things would be really great things to add on if you wanted to come collaborate on this world. However, I do really like that we do have a few places in here, like kind of like the home planets of these different cultures. Storylines. We have one main storyline called Abandoned Ship that's been split into 9 parts. And there are a couple of proposed ones as well, including like the clone storyline I was talking about. But I'd really like more work to be done on those, and to see those like become more fleshed out in actual plots. You know, like if this is going to be a movie or be a TV series. Because I'm kind of confused on that right now, and so it's a shame that I wasn't able to do an interview with the architect for this week, because I really would have loved to talk about, you know, like what this world is being envisioned as. We're going to finish off with some of my favorite parts of this world, though, and that is all of the Rex items in here, because that was a big thing of his in the Lego Movie 2, is he had like his own brand of, you know, like ships and like outfits and everything. And so I really love that that's being continued here with custom builds like this, which is just fantastic. Like, this looks like something that Lego could totally release as a set. And so I really like that that the architect and the collaborators have leaned straight in on this kind of stuff. And this is another build made by the same person. And what I really love is that they even say in the description that you can build this yourself out of pieces from like the 2 Rex sets in the first wave of Lego Movie 2 stuff. And then beyond the vehicles, even if you go into like items and resources, you have like Rex Punch, and then in the items, I love this art. Again, I really like the aesthetic and the continuing of these ideas from the Lego Movie 2, because you have all of these different items for him to use. He has like a Rex version of a lightsaber. You've got his spacesuit from the Lego Movie 2. And so I really love how much care has been put into these items, because I do think that that's one thing that gets overlooked on a lot of worlds. All right, well, that does it for Dangervest. I hope everyone enjoyed this look at what would be a really cool spin-off of the Lego Movie franchise. I don't know if something like this can be made, but I mean, I would, if this can't be made into like a feature film, I would even love to see this as like a 45-minute TV special on Cartoon Network, because I just think that this idea and Rex as a character, like, it's very strong for being a spin-off. Because I feel like a lot of spin-offs seem like they wouldn't really work if they were actually made, but this is one that I think would be a really, really great project. So I hope that something comes of this. I don't know if Lego wants to continue with their Lego Movie franchise, especially since Universal now has the rights instead of Warner Brothers. But like I said, I think it would be awesome. You can go ahead and start creating on LEGO World Builder today if you don't already have an account. We do have a couple of creative prompts still running. We've got Marvel Mechs and then our live action animation hybrid. And Dangervest would actually be a really cool live action animation hybrid story, because, you know, you could have the kid from the Lego Movie like still playing with his toys. So that's it for today. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com. I'll see you guys with another episode of World Builder Wednesdays next week. Bye for now.